What's the word, y'all? If you've ever sat through a single little piece of One Piece episode, then you know the absolute agony of waiting a whole week, sometimes even months, just for that episode to be a dragged out episode of pure butt shit galore. Look, I've been urethra deep into One Piece's lore, so you don't have to tell me to be a good little One Piece fan and just accept it kind of bullshit. Please don't give me that, because it's not okay, and people don't really understand how brutal the anime's pacing really is. It's so bad that you have actual Homo sapiens pretending that everything about the One Piece anime is completely fine. Here's an example, okay? This is me after I shot my best friend. Look at me go, I look fucking sexy. Look at me bust this move, But now this is it with the One Piece anime's pacing, What in the Charlie Kirk is going on, Who is Pepe Sylvia? Look at the difference. Why is it so slow? It's like pretending the elephant is not in the room while it's humping your fucking leg. Again, this is not an agree or disagree kind of conversation. Toei Animation is killing the One Piece anime, and some fans are actually just perfectly okay with that. But I'm not. Me, Captain Seraphim, can we just stop pretending for once that this format that Toei is using, the one episode, one chapter format, is okay? As someone who loves One Piece, as someone who poured their heart, blood, sweat, tears, semen into this genre, someone gotta stand up and say something. You think Tekken got the balls to say what I gotta say? You think Mr. Modge? You think Grand Line Review? Nah, it's me, Captain Seraphim. I'm one of one. Listen, Toei needs to change things now as soon as possible. Especially with One Piece anime becoming seasonal now in 2026, it's time to change things up. Subscribe, like, support small creators, and fuck Jack. First off, I just want to say that I'm no pioneer here, people. I'm not exactly the savant. I'm not the savior. I'm not the chosen one. I'm not Anakin. I'm not the first person to say this. I'm not the last. I'm not the 2,468 person to say it. Let's call it what it is, okay? One Piece is long. Pretty long, like pretty damn long. It's basically One Piece's identity by now. If you ever try to get your friends to One Piece, to try to watch One Piece, you heard it all before, okay? What do you think the first thing they'll say? Oh, it's too long, Nathan. Too many episodes, too many chapters. It's too damn long. And yes, sometimes it is too damn long. Like, look at it, it's over 1,000 chapters. But ladies and gentlemen in the jury, why in God's living being did he make her so beautiful in my eyes that I can't move on? Yes, One Piece is a long series. No one's denying that, okay? But the problem is not One Piece being long itself. The problem is Toei, making the One Piece anime longer than it needs to be. Back in the ancient times where streaming wasn't really a thing back then, these anime companies needed to release weekly because they heavily relied on TV spots. You have to do an episode weekly to keep your spot in the TV. Now, the One Piece anime has been on a weekly basis since 1999. That's longer than I've been alive. That's longer than LeBron's NBA career. That's longer than P. Diddy's jail time. And back then, there was no problem of keeping up the pace, 2 chapters per episode or 1.5 chapters per episode, because that's perfectly okay, because it was fine to keep the pace moving because there was so much things to adapt. Oda was in Alabasta while Luffy and the others were in the Straw Hats. They were still in the East Blue in the anime. But after post time skip, suddenly everything just fell to a shithole. Like, all the past editors, all the writers, all the directors, they all went out and said, we're gonna start just doing shit now. Fucking recap after recap, long ass episode, recaps of the last episode we just watched. What the fuck? Why do we need a recap of that episode when we just watched it? Okay? What the fuck is going on? The one chapter, one episode format. Whoever foul devil, advocated for this idea has to have some, it must be some One Piece director, some big higher up and say oh, let's do some one chapter, one episode, guys, so we can make more money. I swear, that person, someone was controlling their brain. I don't know, you know the movie Ratatouille, right? I think some Naruto fan ratatouille that guy's brain to make him think the one chapter, one episode format is a good thing. It's not, okay? I'ma just break the band-aid here, people. Spoilers. It's not. It literally fucked up the One Piece anime, because that is some evil shit. That is some Cthulhu shit. Trying to suffocate everything to one episode, it's possible, yes. But sometimes it isn't. Now, what are you gonna do when it isn't? If it isn't possible, you know what they're gonna do? Boom! recaps, intros, long ass like weird shit. I don't even know, man. But you know, because you watch One Piece, you know what I'm talking about. Having the freedom of being free flowing, where you could just adapt anything, you know, that is really good, and just, you know, be flexible. Because if a chapter doesn't have much talking scenes and it's all just fighting, you physically, legally, mentally, spiritually can make that into a 24-minute episode. And don't tell me they're gonna put like full-on non-canon material, okay? Because some fans hate it and they have to, you know, wait for Oda's approval. But all these kind of stuff, right? The long recap, long intros, the intro that's in a recap of the intro. One Piece adds them like there's no care in the world because they are restricted because of their format. They can't make the scene go fast because it would ruin their so-called one chapter, one episode format. To prove my point, okay, which I really don't need to do because you guys are One Piece fans and you fucking, you know. But before that, once again, subscribe. We are so close to hitting 1K, and if we do that, it will really make me feel better in a cold, cold world we live in, that you can't have the woman of your dreams. Anyway, Exhibit A, Dressrosa. Because holy crap, this was a massive slogfest, okay? In the manga, Dressrosa was about 100 chapters long. But somehow, some way, Dressrosa, the anime, has over 100 episodes? Like, what the fuck? Like, not accounting for filler and episodes or recaps and none of that. Somehow, One Piece actually broke their format in a bad way, because instead of like littling it, instead of like shortening it, somehow like Dexter Morgan over here prolonged it. They extended it. Like, what the fuck? How did they do that? How? The One Piece anime needed an episode every week while also staying in the format. So it's either they eat up 2 chapters worth of content, which they wouldn't do that. I would bet my entire ball sack they would not adapt 2 chapters in one episode. They would either take one chapter, and get this, okay? They would take one chapter and make it into 2 episodes. Some sort of voodoo Rome ritual, Egyptian pharaoh has to have happened when the light bulb came out and Einstein was like, what's up? When they discovered this life hack, that instead of like doing 1 chapter, 1 episode, what if we just split 1 chapter, cut it in half, and make it 2 episodes? 20 pages of fights. 2 useless recaps after recaps. I'm sorry. Do we really need a recap about what's his name? I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be a bad example. What the fuck is that guy's name? Bellamy. Okay, Bellamy. Do we really need a recap to what happened to Bellamy? It's not even that long ago. Maybe, I don't know. But Jaya was like, we know what happened. Like, come on. I was about to say Exhibit B, Wano, but like, I fucking hate Wano. Again, I love One Piece, but I will never sit through this slugfest ever again. And you're probably going down in comments saying, oh, fake One Piece fan. Brother, look at my fucking channel. Look at one video of mine. It's all One Piece. What do you want me to do, okay? Like, I want the One Piece anime to be successful, you know? But I gotta call them out, because they doing some fucking fucked up shit right there. But right now, you're probably asking, Captain Seraphim, why are they so hell-bent in preserving this format? It's been years. No way they're just trying to keep up their TV spot, right? It's streaming now. You know, there's no TV spot. Kids are not watching on their TV right now, they're on their phone. Yes, Egghead got better with his pacing, but it's still not enough. No one is forcing Toei to release weekly episodes anymore to meet the quota, okay? Look at them, they're all doing breaks and stuff. So why keep the same format? The question in everybody's mind, well, in my mind, now the One Piece anime is seasonal. Yay! 24 episodes across a year. Good, I don't care. Why the fuck are they still keeping the same format when the anime is seasonal? And it being seasonal, that means, oh shit, they're just adapting 1 chapter, 1 episodes. It's still the same thing, but it's seasonal. Oh, the animation gets better, yay! So can the pacing get fucking better? I didn't care much about the animation. The animation was fine. The pacing, that was the problem. Like, what the fuck? Maybe they're doing seasonal because like, oh, we don't want to catch up to the manga. But there's still so many ways to like counter that. They can take breaks, they can reanimate scene, they can make the anime better, make the music better, all that stuff. Maybe they can rearrange scenes to make it better, like, you know, in storytelling wise, instead of like following Oda's, you know, format. But again, maybe Oda doesn't approve of that, and you know, they're the directors. You know, I'm just the guy in the chair. I just really don't get why they're preserving the one chapter one episode format, even though the anime is in seasonal now. So what did they change? The animation got better. Okay, good. What did they change? Again, we have still yet to see. Maybe once it becomes seasonal, the pacing becomes better because the animation got better. I don't know. Who knows? Again, subscribe, like, support small creators like me. I love you guys. Real one say it back.